We are live. We are live. We are live. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Sorry about the delay. So I tried going on Twitter or X or whatever the heck it was, and it decided to kick us out the whole thing. So we, you know how technology is. We're gonna keep it moving and keep it going. So what's up? It's me, Coach Terry Bryant, here on Hits and Heels. Welcome to a new episode of Hits and Heels, our 99th episode of Hits and Heels. Can y'all believe it? Y'all been rocking with me for 99 episodes. And so today, of course, I have an absolute amazing guest that you guys are going to hear from. And I'm trying to think if I got some. Let me tell you the background from it. So the background is, you all know that I am on the board of the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame, and so we had to choose, our top whatever 20 or whatever people that that we had to do, right. And so hold on, because everybody's asking for the link, and it and it messed up. Yeah. So hold on. Let me tell my Danny. Yeah, it let me see if I can get my co-host to kind of fix everything to right now. Okay, so let me go to my group in there is a new link. All right, everybody, gotcha. So I had to do a new link in order to get here because it was crazy. So let me get everybody the link on YouTube. And I love that people are yelling at me. Where is the link? Because they want to see, because they want to know who our guest is. So I tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and start letting y'all hear about her story before we start losing time, because I want to go right into this. So y'all know I'm on the board of the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame. And we have to choose who it is. Some people are disappointed, and everybody thinks they should be a part of the Hall of Fame, or people are left out. It is a very, very, very tedious and difficult decision when we come up with whoever is being inducted in our Hall of Fame. So the Hall of Fame is going to be on September the 21st. September 21st at 6:00 at the Central Bank Center. And, tickets are available now. I'll make sure that I post the link, but you can go to laashoff.com, LAASHOF.com, and get your tickets. And listen, let me tell you about this guest right here. So y'all know my son plays for the University of Kentucky. My husband played for the University of Kentucky. So we're big Kentucky fans. And then y'all know that I also coach track on top of football, coaching football. So I have 2 state championships at track because I coach middle school. And so I ran track. Middle school was my baby. So I was excited when we were able to put another track person into the Hall of Fame. And it was a female. And she ran at the University of Kentucky. And she's still holding records there. So listen, let me let y'all learn who Michelle Johndon is. Michelle, thank you for coming on Hits and Heels. Girl, go on and tell us your story so I can get the rest of this technical stuff out of the way and people stop fussing at me.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Terry, for having me on. This is an awesome opportunity. Like I told you, it's kind of weird for me to be able to share my story, but talk about myself. So this is going to be very fun. But like you said, I am ecstatic to be one of the inductees. And when I was selected and received the call, I was surprised because I feel like I've been very quiet for so many years. People do not, kind of know who I am anymore here. And so to share part of that story, I had been gone probably about 15 years. I came back in 2019. Whoa. So to back up, so I was born and raised here in Lexington, Central Baptist. Moved away when I was young, but moved back when I was in 4th grade. So went to Arlington, went to Winburn for a year, went to Leestown, which is where my career began. That's when I had no clue what track really was. I was used to, racing kids in the neighborhood, field days, kicking butt. I didn't really know what my gift was at the time until somebody was like, oh, you should run track. I was playing basketball, which, honey, that's another story.
Okay.
That wasn't my thing. I was good on defense, but to steal the ball and take it down, I was always missing layups. So that was not my thing. So I tried track out. And even if you know where Leestown is, of course, they don't have a track. So we used to practice in the front parking lot and then kind of around the school. And so that's when the sprints were introduced to me, but not just that. They were like, you should try hurdles. You're tall, you got long legs. I'm like, I'm not doing this. But then something in me was like, just give it a try. And the first time I did it, fell in love with it. Had no clue what I was doing, but I fell in love with it because it was my escape from life. So track was my outlet. And so after Leestown, went on to Dunbar, shout out to the Dunbar Bulldogs, class of 97. So my time at Dunbar was fantastic. Had a lot of opportunities to let my light shine on the track and off of the track. So it's very interesting because my high school career has a very, very special place in my heart. And that's kind of why this whole thing is coming full circle. Okay. When I was at Dunbar, our track coach was a volleyball coach, right? So she didn't know anything.
Oh my God.
So it's one of those situations.
But that happens a lot.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate.
She was filling in the gap. But she did her thing for so many years, but it was not her thing. So she didn't really know about hurdles. And so I was just going through the motion until one day, 2 guys that were helping with the boys coaches came to me and was like, Michelle, you should come over here and let us help you work out. So from that moment, it was Bethel Ward and Wilbert Prinkleton. And those 2 guys, I owe them my entire career. From that moment, they had me working out with the boys, and really giving me some competition in practice. Our relays and sprints, we were all good. We were very top contenders in state, but personally, I was still missing like, what's next? Nobody was talking about, going to college and different things. So I wasn't looking at that on my radar. Not until Bethel and Will started pulling me aside and was like, okay, we're going to do summer track. So I guess they saw something in me that I could not see. And so even though they were, I call them coaches on the side, they were my angels in the sport. I tell them to this day, like, I owe them the reason why I had any successes on the track, because they instilled that time that I needed. They made sure I was getting from practices or meets. And I remember riding in their car to Junior Olympics in Texas. And so fast forward to like senior year. So all through high school, I've had a lot of successes. I had a total of maybe 10 state medals.
Wow. That's impressive.
A lot of different great meets that I was able to find great competition. Here in Lexington, it was back in the 90s, the competition was different. Today, it's way different than it was then. But back then, the competition was what it was. It was real authentic. And it was deep. We had, I can name the hurdles now, Melissa and Samaya was a sprinter, and Crystal. Those were my everyday competition on the track here locally. And then when it came to introducing us to the Louisville people, I have the Valley girls who became my teammates, but those are our competition. So we had a lot of good talent, but I didn't have the resources at my fingertips. And so having those two guys outside of our coaching staff pour into me, like for 3 or 4 years, they poured into me during the summer, all throughout the track career that I had there. And Bethel was, I'm sure you know Bethel Ward, but he,
that's why we inducted him last year.
Yeah, I think all of the wards are there.
All of the wards. Littleton is going in this year. Yes.
Yes. But they were always making sure that I had my focus in mind. I didn't think about going to college until they started talking to me about it, because they had been there. I wasn't a first generation, but I was close to it. And so I didn't know what those steps were. So they helped put things in line. My junior year, letters started to come in and offers started to come in, way different than it is now, because we didn't have transfer portals and
social media.
any of that. And so then it was just like, I wouldn't say it was just real and authentic, but back in the 97, that was 97 when I was at Dunbar, graduated. My senior year did not go as I wanted or expected. Just to give a real tidbit on that, but going into the state meet, I was favored to win gold in like the hurdles, the 100, the 2, and the 300 hurdles. And back then they had the semis and then the finals. So I had false started. It's crazy that I have this memorized. Like I can.
Yeah, because it stays with you.
It does. It does. I had false started in the hurdles, so I knew I wasn't going to the finals. So on Saturday for the finals, I knew my graduation was the same day. But if everything was going as planned, I would make it to the graduation. But there was a storm delay. And so I had already ran the 100, got first. So I got my gold in that. The rain delay came. And so it was like 2 hours. And so I had to make a decision. So I told my coach, the volleyball coach, that I was going to just forego the other, like the 200 and the 300 hurdles to go to to go to the graduation, because I had family coming in and yada, yada. And she asked me to go ahead and run the relay to make sure that, to get us on the board, and then be the last thing, and then I can head out. Sure. Anything for the team. I wanted to make sure that we got gold. So I did that, got gold, or got first. I ain't gonna say gold.
Right.
First. And then at the finish line, the official came to me and said, "You're banned from the meet because that was considered your 5th event." Because I had false started in the hurdle, she didn't consider that to be an event.
Oh.
So by me running the anchor of that relay,
was your 5th event.
First, I had to relinquish that, and I had to relinquish my first place in the 100 meters. And so I couldn't compete in the rest of the meet. So I went to graduation. So that's why I say my senior year didn't go as planned or expected. Right. However, that has always stuck with me. And that's why to this day, even coaching or instilling stuff in kids or my boys, it comes back to those experiences. Because if it had not been for Bethel or Will, I would not have had the successes that I would have. Probably wouldn't have even gone to college, honestly.
Oh, wow.
So all of those things full circle to was able to graduate. And I did go on college visits. I did 3 out of 5. UK was my last one. And when I met Coach Floreal, I knew, I was like, okay, this is home. Even though I was adamant, I'm like, I am not staying in Lexington. I am not staying here. And he will tell this story to this day. But I was adamant. I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm going away. But it was just something about him and his coaching style and what he offered. And that was probably the best decision I made for my career. But I will say my time at UK was fantastic. I had some experiences and
broke some records.
Broke a few records. Yeah. So I do hold. So it's crazy. So at Dunbar, I still hold the 100 meter hurdle record. And I want to say it might be the longest standing
record that's still up at Dunbar?
Yeah, I've been trying to follow it because I've been trying to get Kiara to break it every year. She broke my 300 record last year. And then at UK, I hold the freshman and varsity indoor 55-meter hurdle record. Yeah, they don't do those anymore.
That's okay. So that means they'll never go away.
Stay there. Yeah, my name will stay on the books. So I was able to compete in the hurdles, both the 100, the 3 and the 4 in college, the 100, the 200 relays. I even competed in the heptathlon at an SEC championship, got 8th place. So kind of dibbled and dabbled all over the place when I had the opportunity at UK. The opportunities that awarded was just fantastic. Being able to, foster new relationships and new teammates. And, those are friendships that last a lifetime. So from UK, I want to say I graduated in 2001. So I was there for 4 years. I left with a bachelor's in finance and marketing. I will say, as far as the track part of it, in 4 years, I had 3 different hurdle coaches. So I would say that was a challenge. A lot of our team, a lot of my teammates that came in with us, several of them transferred out when L'Oreal did. That was a decision I had to make, but I was ready to get out of school too. So, but anyway, so I had those successes, even though I had, it was like a roller coaster with the coaches. And so fast forward to now, I guess, I don't know. I'm trying to think because I had coached when I lived in Cincinnati, when I had graduated in 2001 from UK. I knew I wanted to leave Kentucky. And so I graduated in May, and by August I was out of here. So I eventually ended up in Cincinnati and began a career in banking. While I was there for 15 years. I did some time coaching, like summer track clubs. I did some volunteer type of stuff, but nothing really was calling me back into the sport, really. And I want to say we had moved around a little bit. We had lived in Cincinnati, then Georgia, and eventually in 2019, I came back home. And I'm like, I thought I'd never come back home, ever. But love brought me home, and I know that God put me in the right place. Everything happens for a reason. I know it's my season. And it's weird when I came back, it's right when COVID happened. So getting out and mixing and mingling kind of really wasn't a thing. And so since I've been back, I've been itching to get back into my unfinished business, I feel like.
Okay.
So, like I have unfinished business to handle on the track, and it's not me personally.
Right.
But it's instilling what I know in
other kids.
Absolutely. And it's crazy because me and my husband, we have 2 boys. Jalen is 17. Cameron is 13. He'll be 14 next week. And I never thought that either one of them would do track because we're football.
Right. Yeah, of course. Y'all are a football family, hands down. Yes.
Shout out to Woodford.
Shout out Woodford.
Yes. Can't wait for the football season. But anyway, so I never thought that they would run track, throw, or anything. So my youngest, he throws shot and discus. And my oldest is a hurdler.
Okay.
So this has been one of the best experiences.
I bet.
Just personally. I know last year when we had a track meet at Dunbar, it was very emotional.
Oh,
he's there. It was very, very cool. But so I just finished. This was my 3rd season coaching at Woodford County. I love it. I wish there was more that I can do for the sport, which is why I'm trying to bust out some things this year. But I do enjoy it. I do coach hurdles, and I give a little bit of insight on sprints and whatever else I can. But hurdling is my baby because a lot of people don't know much about it, don't know the specifics about what the form, and because it's very meticulous. And hurdling is a rhythm. And I tell anybody, if you can hurdle, you can do about anything. Because I think hurdling is one of the hardest.
I think it's the hardest sport on the track.
It is.
Hands down, yes.
And so it brings me so much joy to be able to teach what I know or what has been shared with me to the extent I don't know everything. There's so much more to learn. But even those little bits of nuggets of information, and to see the kids just put that into motion and see the results every week, set a goal for themselves and then go crush it. And we're at it again next week. This is my third season, and I had, so things have changed so much. I don't like how it is now, but so I've had 4 hurdlers go to state every season that I've coached. And I say only 4 because they only allow you to have 2 per school.
Two per school, yeah.
I had more than that, baby. We would have at least 4 or 5 in there.
Right.
So our hurdle crew is deep. But again, it's just being able to instill or put that little nugget of information into their hands so that they can, rise up and do the same for themselves. And so when it was very interesting that I got the call during track season, because I'm like, oh my gosh, what perfect timing. And so I was able to share that experience with the team. I still don't know if I know it hasn't hit me. It hasn't really sunk in and hit me yet. The level of, appreciation that this is, or the, recognition that it is. But I hope that when I do, that I don't slow down. You know what I mean? I hope that the fire continues to burn.
Absolutely.
I had started, it's crazy I'm talking about it. I had started a business. It's called She Rose. I started this thing about 2 years ago. However, I didn't have the right direction. Like, it wasn't, you have to have it. It has to come to you in birth. So I've pivoted so many ways. But now I'm ready to roll out this brand, and what She Rose will be the elevation of female athletes. You think of a rose, right? I am the least girly girl. So I was trying to think of a way to make it I like to put a metaphor like, okay, the roses, they go through different phases, right? So do we as women.
Absolutely.
Different seasons and a variety of different ones. So I picked a rose, and I'm like, when I say She Rose, people are like, oh, like Shiro, hero. I'm like, not really, but you can think of that as
you can think of it like that, yeah, because you're still dealing with athletes, and their athletes are heroes. Absolutely. So that's a good way. They can look at it that way. Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Absolutely.
But I love the rose.
Continue to roll that out. Some of the plans that I have, hopefully, that will be coming out soon, hopefully in the next few months. But to do some one-on-one coaching, offer some clinics, some mentoring, and sponsor some female athletes, because I do know that, there's certain things that female athletes need. And if they can't afford them or get them, why not help them so that they're not hindered or that their gift is not going by the wayside? So whether it be spikes, whether it be, sports bras, whatever the case, I want to be able to provide an entity of that. And another goal of mine would be we kind of dibbled in this past season, but the mentoring thing, to have the older athletes mentor the younger ones. So I have some plans in place that hopefully more to come about She Rose. But for me, it's coming all full circle. And so it's pretty fun because, like you said earlier before we hopped on, I've not heard of you. I don't know you.
I didn't know you. I mean, that was one of the things that I loved about being a part of the board, is that my husband and I are not from Lexington, but the Joneses invited us to be on the board because of our influence and because of our connection in the community sports wise. And so when you came across, it was like, whoa, whoa, and I couldn't wait to meet you. But then when they told me who you were married to, I was like, oh, well, I've met him before. Yes. And of course, we love DJ and his family, and that's our nephew as well.
Yes,
Everybody's nephew is Jasper.
for sure.
And I'm not gonna lie, I want him to go to Kentucky. I hope he goes to the University of Kentucky. So that's how that is. But I love what you just said, and so this is where I want to go.
Okay.
Take me to when you got the call that you were being nominated. First of all, who called you?
I received the call from, I want to say Charles Trumbo at first, because
okay,
nominated. Well, his daughter got the information, but I want to say Jennifer. I forget who
Jennifer
called.
Johndon. Yeah, so she's our co-founder.
And so I was thrown back because it was definitely unexpected. Again, I am not one for attention or I'm not the one for you don't see me in the spotlights and all those things. So I'm very quiet and shy a lot of times. So this was different. Like I said, I still don't think it's sunk in. So I'm really trying to embrace what this means. I think this podcast is kind of starting some of those feels, but I'm excited about the events leading up to September 21st and definitely September 21st. I'm super excited about all that is to come in all ways, shapes, and forms. So
when I tell you that it's going to be breathtaking the day of. I mean, I remember when Donna Robb kind of snuck in before the event and just looked at it, and she posted a picture and she said it just totally just took my breath away because it was just so surreal. And even the first one for me was overwhelming because of all the hard work that I know that we put into from the very beginning, because it all started with the vision of Bobby and Jennifer Jones. And then they put a team together. And then from the team, we all just kind of put our heads together to try to figure out, did we get it all right? We did not. But when I tell you, we came up with an absolute fantastic product the night of, and to have tickets sold out, and the food is delicious, and the entertainment is fantastic. But just having the opportunity for someone like me, who's just an avid sports person, to be able to meet you all, it is just cream of the crop. So I can't wait to meet you in person. I can't wait to hug your neck. I can't wait to clap for you when you walk across the stage. I can't wait to hear your acceptance speech. I can't wait for all of that. I am so looking forward to that, because let me tell you something. Ty got a game that day. And I got to tell the story. So last year, Ty played in Vanderbilt, and it was the same day as the gala. When I tell you, I left at the beginning of the fourth quarter,
and
I was back. Yes. I missed maybe the first hour. I missed the red carpet and stuff, but I came right on time. I think right when Sheldon come on, when they were doing all the people that I knew. I didn't know any of the newer people, but when I tell you, I walked in that building right on time for me. It was amazing. Right. And so it's going to be that again. So Tiffany, Tiffany says, you're such a beautiful spirit. Congratulations again. And of course, Tiffany is a beautiful spirit, and she's been on my podcast. And if you haven't seen her version of my on my podcast, it's absolutely amazing as well. Yes. And so and then your cousin Olivia says she's so proud of you. Keep up the amazing work of what you're doing. And so
this is going to be fun, because for this particular inductee class, so this would be my first time attending. Last 2 years I've had an event. Last year my nephew was getting married, but this year I also have a cousin, Austin Dumas, who's being recognized or inducted as well. And we have another family member, I forget the name, but so it's going to be a family function for us as well. So hopefully all of my family and friends that are watching are either have you already bought your ticket.
Yeah, and let me make sure I put on there. Let me share how y'all can get these tickets, because
I'm ready to party. I'm ready to.
Yes.
It's going to be fun. I'm ready.
It's going to be absolutely fun. And and I think every year we didn't know it was like that, but every year it's almost been a family affair, because even like last year we had Tony Wilson and Leslie Leslie Nichols. Mm-hmm. I didn't know they were cousins until they told us that we were cousins. But when we're inducting them, we have no idea who's related to who and what's going on. And so it was just really amazing that they were family as well. But I guess it's Lexington. I guess that should be expected. And he said Mr. Brown is on. He said that Austin Dumas is his grandson's uncle.
Oh, yeah, that's my cousin down the line. We have a family reunion it's crazy because I feel like I've been gone for so many years. Mm-hmm. That I've been so disconnected locally. So I'm excited just to,
It does seem like a family reunion, because the first one, both of them were like that, because I enjoy getting selfies with everybody, as many selfies as I can, because everybody's dressed up and looking good. And so it when I tell you it's a great time, if anybody that has I'm going to keep the Layshoff on there unless I put someone's comment on here to make sure you guys go and get those tickets. Oh my goodness. So, okay. So tell me more about the boys.
So like I said, Jalen is 17.
My daughter's named Jalen. That's so cute.
Okay. And Cameron he'll be 14 next week. They both go to Woodford County or high school, freshman and a junior. So they both play football. One's on defense, one on offense. So this is my first year having them both play together. So
okay.
Easy, but every Friday is going to be awesome. So, but they keep us busy. Like I said, they go from football to track, but they're awesome boys. They're awesome. They're very respectable, and we don't have any issues, knock on wood, out of them. But no complaints. They're great kids.
Yeah,
they have great role models to look up to. I have a fantastic husband, like you mentioned.
Absolutely. Did you see his message to you?
I didn't. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, thanks, babe. No. Like I tell him, I'm just a reflection of him. So.
Did you see Littleton's message?
That's LT.
Yes.
I'll give a big shout out to Dunbar, class of 97, my teammates, classmates, and then UK, class of 01. So anyone I ran track with, went to school with, like, big shout out, because you guys all have played a major part in my life. So I appreciate it.
So what was it like having an African-American coach in college?
Well, part of it.
Well, part of it. Well, and was there a big difference after he left? My bad. I told you I don't talk about nothing controversial.
No, this is my story.
You don't have to answer that if you don't want to, because I already
know. I think, again, that's part of my story. That's my experience. Mm-hmm. But like I said, Coach Forial was phenomenal. I talk to him to this day. But when so my parents were divorced. My dad really wasn't a part of my life at that point, right? Okay. I have two older brothers that, were those for me. However, Forial was just he's a different beast.
Yes.
He means business, but he creates it as well. So I can, his results stand for themselves. But phenomenal person, him and his wife, LaVonna, their whole family. But yeah, they would take us in like we were there. So that was a different experience, because again, I didn't have it at Dunbar until I had it with Bethel and Will. Right. But it's something different when it comes from our own people. Right. Because we understand each other. And I will share this. So when I was living in Cincinnati, I didn't really, that's when I found out about the doll hairs, Hall of Fame, whatever, I don't know, the whole acronym or whatever it is. And so I'm like, okay, my high school coach would never nominate me, right? So I nominated myself in 2012. And so I have— You
nominated yourself for what?
For the doll hairs Hall of Fame thing.
Hall of Fame, yeah.
I still have yet to get a call. So this particular Layshoff recognition means a whole lot to me, because it makes me know that what I contributed to the sport was recognized, even if it was just, whatever.
And that is the exact reason
Because
why it was created.
Yeah,
that's why it was created. Absolutely. Because I'm gonna tell you right, I'm going to put it on out there. Whoever wants to listen. So we inducted Chris Chenault last year, and then he gets inducted into the Kentucky Hall of Fame. Our first year we inducted Steve Chandler, who was the first Black to play baseball at Vanderbilt University.
Yep.
He gets inducted into their Hall of Fame. Oh my God, how long ago was that?
Right.
Now he gets inducted, but it was after we inducted.
Yes.
Donna Robinson.
Yes. See?
Just got inducted into the KSAA Hall of Fame. And this woman has a national championship. She's more decorated than any other coach in the city of Lexington.
There's a lot of us that need to be like, I ain't say us, but there's a lot of people that need to be respectfully in there. But so I give many, many kudos to Mr. and Mrs. Jones for creating this platform, because otherwise, and then I look at it like our kids, I love telling my boys, like, I'm going to be a Hall of Famer. Like, I think it's funny.
Absolutely.
It hasn't sunk in, right? But for me to be able to like share that with them, like we talk to you and tell you, oh, you need to do this. You better go ice. You need it, because we've been there. We know it. And now it's so much harder now. It's not where it used to be. And so I think being able to be back and being able to give a little bit of something where I had some unfinished business. So that's why I feel like I'm not done. I still have some unfinished business on the track and off of the track, but these high school students have a sweet, special place in my heart. So that's where it's going to start at. So.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why I created Hits and Heels. Number one, because I'm a football coach, and there aren't many female football coaches that are out here.
I think I need to be one too.
I think you need to be a football coach too. I mean, I was kind of really. I think I was on a podcast this morning, and I was on one. So I was on Alan Cutler yesterday.
Nice.
So being on Alan Cutler was just all of that, because we don't have a lot of platforms where, especially as Black women, that we have an opportunity to come and give our voice. We're not invited into these type of platforms, even if we have Hall of Fame numbers and a Hall of Fame type of a background. We're not invited. And so and it's so funny, because every time I'm in other avenues, the first thing they ask me about is Caitlin Clark. And the whole Caitlin Clark. And do I think that the whole Caitlin Clark thing is, and I'm like, I'm tired of hearing about Caitlin Clark. Because y'all will never understand.
What about some other people?
You will never understand the dynamic of what that has created in the sports world. Am I absolutely fantastically glad that women's sports is on the tongue of so many? I mean, I'm in a couple of mostly men's sports groups, and all they're talking about is the W. They talk about more about the WNBA than they do about LeBron, because it was just all about LeBron and Jordan and that type of stuff, or something in football. But all I see now is a talk about between Angel Reese and so the fact that they're talking about women's sports, period, I'm absolutely elated and excited.
We're elevating, yes.
So excited about that, right? And so that's why I created this platform. Me and my co-host created this platform, was because we were the only football female coaches that we knew on our level. We're on the middle school level. And I know I was the first in Fayette County, and I'm only one of I only know one other girl in Jefferson County that is coaching on the high school level. That's awesome. So, I mean, again, I'm in the 1% that's coaching, but I would never have been put in this position if my husband hadn't put me in this position. And so, so that's when I don't, somebody said something about nepotism, and y'all can take nepotism, and because that's what everybody else do. They use Jerry Jones has his whole family on his staff,
right,
for the Dallas Cowboys. So, don't tell me anything about nepotism, because even when my husband, of course I was apprehensive when I took on it. I was insecure because I wasn't sure about what I knew, but I knew enough. And then also I'm still learning. Right. And so when I started, girl, can you still get on the court? Because my center is 51 years old on my football team. So I coach a women's tackle football team as well.
Here?
In Kentucky. There's one women's tackle football team in the state of Kentucky called the Derby City Dynamite. And I was their first female coach as well. And so, but our season just ended. Matter of fact, I'm going to championship weekend in Canton on the weekend of the 27th is a championship weekend for the women's league. And by the way, the championship game will be aired on ESPN2, and I will be reminding everybody to make sure that y'all tune in to the women's tackle football team. It'll be St. Louis against, it'll be a rematch of last year's championship game. It'll be St. Louis, who is undefeated, against Boston, who has won it 4 or 5 years in a row. And so it's time to dethrone them. So I love what you're saying. So now, because I love what you're getting ready to do with She Rose, you got to figure out how to put me on. Whatever you need me to do to support you, get that off the road, we'll definitely be in contact after this from now on, because now we're thick and thieves. Like, now we can really be thick as thieves. We can really be besties now. And so now we'll figure out what to do, because what I want to do is I think the whole Fayette County athletics needs to be kind of revamped, especially at the middle school level, because we're not getting a lot of, I know, like for basketball, 10 games is just not enough for basketball in middle school. We don't have baseball. We don't have softball. I get it. We don't have the facilities. We don't have the funding. He said, now she, look at this. He said, now she want to play football. Hey, Derek, I'm recruiting your wife. Matter of fact, I need a quarterback.
Hey, I can't.
That's okay. I'm just joking. No, my quarterback's coming back, and I can't wait. She was a rookie this year, and when she comes back, I'm hoping that. But no, you can play wide receiver or running back or DB or something.
You'll have those little uniforms, don't you? I can't do that.
Hey, no, no, ma'am. We're full tackle football. We're not in no little no, ma'am. We're not no lingerie league or anything like that. No, ma'am. We're full pads.
I don't play full
100% pads. We
but
look like
no, and we need to talk about that. No, for real. You know what? I could hear him now. I have to get.
I already know. Hey, and I'm gonna tell him to coach you up. I need my DB. I need her to play. I need a corner. I need I think I need a new safety. What else I need? I need a new wide receiver. I need every position. It doesn't matter. I need every position.
I might not be able to throw or kick, but I can be in it.
Okay. We'll find a place for you.
I know my father-in-law is rolling right now, so I just want to a heavenly shout out to Alvis Johnson. His heavenly birthday would have been, I want to say, Saturday the 15th.
Bless his soul.
Just a big shout out. And if he was here for this, he would be loving it, because he loved some track and field. So this is also sweet. So.
Yeah, we was just so oh my God, we were so heartbroken when we heard about his passing. And he was such a great man. He was just such a great man for the community. And and so, again, you guys come from, you married into a great family.
Yes.
So you definitely got lucky. Littleton, I'm always recruiting. I do not play about. I do not play about recruiting. I am always in recruit mode. Derek might like that. This is George. I think George is on Tiffany's thing. And then Mr. Brown mentioned something about Mr. Johnson. He said he's a legend in the Harrisburg region, and including Danville. So he did mention that. Yeah. But this is what your husband had said earlier. This is so funny. He said, "And you fine." Robert Eugene said that he was so proud of you, sis. But
Yay.
then after your husband said that you was fine, George came back, said, congratulations. And then he told your husband that this is not that type of party. They are so funny. I have a good time on my podcast. You know what? I love y'all. Thank y'all all for coming on and engaging. Also,
but I they bought their tickets too. Everybody that's
make sure y'all are getting them tickets. Make sure you're getting them tickets. Mr. Brown said John Shelby's two-time World Series champion has never been recognized by the state of Kentucky for those achievements. And and we did. He was one of our first inductees. I did not know that his world championship was not recognized by the state of Kentucky. But yeah, he was in our first induction was John Shelby as well. So again, the Lexington African American Hall of Fame, they're doing some great things. I can't. It's my most prideful project that I'm a part of. When I tell you I love coaching football, I absolutely love coaching football. We just started on Monday, and we got our first girl.
Oh yes, I feel like I'm in football because I think everybody in my house but me is football. The dog.
Well, we can get you in too, so that way you don't have to feel left out. You know, you just play. Yeah, you could just we get you a couple of snaps in just to kind of get you out there. Go on to get back in shape, girl. I know you are. I know you're not far from being out of shape, but go on to get in football shape. And so we got our first girl this year, and I'm excited about that. So that it goes back to what you said about the Sheroes. I need some type of mentorship program that I can send these little girls like her. I mean, because she's the only one. And, and even yesterday I had to tell her, I had to remind her again today. I said, just because you're a girl, I'm not getting ready to give you the benefit of the doubt. I said, because what you're doing is you're getting Coach Bryant's attention a little bit too much because you're not doing what you need to be doing. I said, and you're better than all of these guys out here.
Girl power.
I said, but I need you to believe that you're better than all of them out here.
Absolutely.
Right? And when she gets to the high school, she got to go do something else, because I do not believe in girls playing at the high school level, because there's no way your son is getting ready to hit my daughter. There's no way that's getting ready to happen, right? When Ty was in high school, there's no way I would want Ty hitting one of the girls, even if they're playing. So I do think on the middle school level, the girls can still play that. And so you have to go check out my podcast from last week where she just my guest had created her own league for girls flag. And so I'm really hoping that that's something, maybe that's something that you and I can kind of collaborate with bringing to Kentucky a girls flag. I've been asked by a couple of people to do a girls flag league here in Lexington. So maybe that's something that, we can kind of partner up with and go ahead and bring, because we football women.
Yes.
Don't get us twisted.
Don't let this fool you. Like
don't let all this fool you. Don't let all of this fool you. We love us some football, and we don't even play. Who's your favorite NFL team?
Well, I'm going to say Raiders. I'm going to say Raiders because I've claimed them like 3 years ago. So I'm a Raiders fan. Shout out to Champ. But that's
Champ. That's right. Champ's there now.
But part of my family likes the Cowboys, the Vikings.
I'm a Cowboys, and Cisco is a 49ers fan. So we're and Ty likes the Giants.
Oh yeah.
My daughter is a Cowboys fan. So yeah, we're a house divided.
Yeah, it gets fun though. It makes it for a fun season. It's like there's nothing to do after track season to football. It's like, there's nothing on TV. There's nothing to watch. But
the only thing now is the WBA.
Yes. But other than that, there's nothing.
Right. And so, and luckily this summer we have the Olympics. So there's a little bit of something that we have to watch, but it's boring. I don't turn on the TV usually after March Madness.
I get it.
Our TV doesn't come on because there's nothing on TV worth watching. Because my husband still coaches baseball, but I didn't mind going and watching baseball when my son was playing. But yes. I didn't acquire the taste of baseball to be able to watch it on a regular basis on TV. Now I will maybe watch it during the World Series, depending on who's playing. So one of my best friends, her brother-in-law is David Price. And so when he was in the World Series, I absolutely enjoyed watching it. So other than that, I'm not going to watch it. Oh, Mr. Brown said that I got him watching tackle football, and those women are serious and they hit hard. They hit hard and they don't even play. Wait till I show you some videos. Oh, do you know Derek Homer? Congratulations.
You play football at UK as well. This is awesome.
Derek said, he said Cowboys. He said, I like it. He said, I like it. Cisco says that that's my only fault. Oh, my husband, by the way, told me to tell you hello.
Oh, hey, Cisco.
He told me to tell you hello. Who is this? I don't know who this is. Oh, it's coming from Jennifer Jones. Hey, Jennifer Jones. Let me go find it. This is Jennifer. We can't wait to celebrate you. I didn't even see it, Jennifer. I'm sorry. We can't wait to celebrate you. Such a hum. Absolutely. Congratulations again. And again, we would not even be having this conversation. Listen, we wouldn't even be able to have this conversation right now if it hadn't been for Jennifer Jones and Bobby Jones having the lexicon, because I would have never, I probably have seen your face at a game because we like popping up at Woodford County. We've been to a couple of Woodford County games, so you've probably been there. But I didn't know who you were.
I don't sit in stands, so
you can't sit in the stands when your husband's a coach. You can't sit in the stand. You can't sit in the stands. No, even when Ty played, we stood in the end zone. Luckily we're always VIP because we're coaches and stuff, and we know everybody. So we get lucky enough where we're able to kind of stand in the end zone, and all the rest of the parents have to sit in the stand. So I'm so thankful for that because I already know. Cisco, matter of fact, Cisco had coached 1 year at Dunbar early on when we first started dating, and I was like, oh my God, let me go. And I did almost got into it with somebody, and there was this one parent that, he said something or whatever. I said, they soft. I said, they're not tackle. And then I sat in the stands one time and I was like, miss tackle, because my husband was a defensive coordinator at that time. I was like, miss tackle. I said, why y'all up there running y'all mouth about the defensive coordinator? He's putting them in position, but they not making the plays. And then I had to leave.
Right. Oh,
I had to leave. I had to shut up. So even on social media, I have to learn to keep my mouth shut. I had to delete myself off a lot of groups and stuff because, oh my goodness, don't get me started about no sports because I'm gonna go in on you, because if you don't know what you're talking about, I'm gonna tell you about yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. He said, "Love you, baby. Congratulations." He's so sweet. Your baby's so sweet. I love it when husbands are celebrating their wives. I already did that one. I did that one? You be coaching.
Oh, that's my goddaughter. Like 7 months. But yeah, we're gonna have her. I try to recruit everybody to run track, and and hopefully people are listening. But football players, please consider run track.
Run track.
You don't have to be the next state champion, but it will do wonders for your football season, your baseball season, basketball season, whatever the case. It will do you wonders. I know they're like, I don't want to do. It will do you wonders if you want to go somewhere higher in your sport. Consider track. It will do wonders for you.
And I love that you said that, because the greats all ran track.
Absolutely.
Deion Sanders ran track.
Absolutely.
Bo Jackson ran track. Let's do somebody.
Ward.
Huh?
That's the Littleton
Ward ran track. Let's do someone recent. Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Is a track star. He's recent, right? And so there's a reason why we call him Cheetah. He's fast. And so there's so many greats that are like that were football players that did multiple sports, and their secondary sport was track because it helped them in their sport, and so we just got to make sure that the football coaches in the track, because I know that you guys got y'all spring practices and all that, and warm-ups and off-season conditioning, but we got to do just a better job of collaborating. The track I think the track coach and the football, they need to be like this.
Yes, they go hand in hand. And I even tell Derek, I'm he's talking about me, I'm gonna talk about him. I tell him all the time, like, I can help your guys, or, you know, and me and him talk all the time. I mean, he has some good footwork, but we talk all the time about different drills and different techniques or things that, you know, that they can do in practices or whatever that can help with some of that quick get off the line and, you know, snap when the ball snap, you got to move, go, and, you know, yeah. So
because being in a perfect example of that is being in the blocks is like coming off the ball on the offensive line. You can't yes. jump. Yeah. You can't jump or it's a penalty. So, you know, just having, you know, so being in the blocks, I mean, I know most offensive linemen are not going to be in the blocks because they're not going to be running sprints to do that. Right. But it's still a great training for even your linemen to get in the blocks and to get used to, because it helps you fire off the ball because you got to stay low. And I don't know how that would not be a great training for even your offensive linemen and using a gun or a whistle or whatever, because you can't jump. You have to be disciplined.
Yes. Yep.
Girl, we could talk about that all day.
We could. So
we could talk about that all day. Well, listen. Okay, so is there anything that we haven't talked about that we need to talk about? Because your resume is absolutely fantastic. Did we talk about everything?
I mean, I'm sure I didn't talk about going to Spain and other things, but I'll highlight them.
You want to talk about that?
No. I'll talk about that one later. So
okay,
they'll have to come to, you know, the gala to
the gala to hear about. Okay, to hear. So we got to say some stuff for the gala.
For sure.
For sure. Okay. Now, is there anything that you've ever wanted to say publicly that you've never had an opportunity to say that you might not necessarily say at the gala?
That I've not already said. I'm reading. I don't think that I've said publicly. No, I mean, the biggest thing that I mean, if I had to just shout something right now, would be, you know, track was an opportunity for me to be free on the track. It was my way to be me. You know, I didn't have to worry about being talked about, ridiculed, teased, or whatever, because I was handling business on the track. So that was where my identity came from. I just encourage people to find that gift inside of you and, you know, let God use you and fester that thing and into something. And if you have the knowledge that these young kids need to help elevate them, don't hold it. You know what I'm saying? Just share it, invest in these young kids, and, you know, that's all we can continue to do. So, I mean,
it goes back to the song, the children are the future. And I, you know, and it still takes a village. The village just changed a little bit because, you know, we can't say nothing to other people's kids anymore like we could back in the day. So that whole dynamic is different. But so we have to come up with creative ways to still, and right now coaching is that only avenue that we really have. That's a village outside of our people that can have an impact on your kids. My biggest people that influenced my life were definitely my coaches. I mean, all the way even back as far back as middle school or junior high back then. So, and that's why I want to be that. I want to be that where, especially when I'm a female coach. I hope they never remember me because they're gonna be like, well, I had a female coach back in middle school and she was meaner than the other coaches. Because Cisco will tell you they soft. I'm like, y'all soft. I mean. I was like, y'all are soft. I said, babe, you getting soft. I said, you've always been this soft. I said, because you're very intense. But when we're in practice, I'll be like, you're not getting ready to give them no up dance for doing that. You know, I'd be like, catch the ball. We're not getting ready to do all this.
Right.
You know, so yeah, I end up being the heavy in practice, and I'll just be thinking that they who was your track idol? You said FloJo amazing. Who's your track idol coming up? Who's your idol coming up?
I would say Gail Devers. I mean, I love FloJo and Jackie, but I would say Gail Devers because she was a hurdler, but I mean, she was shorter than me for sure, but she just had a little fire in her. You know what I mean? Those obstacles, because hurdles are that. she didn't shy down from them. So, I mean, but I looked up to so many people back then, Michael Johnson. I mean, there's just so many. And even today, I mean, I'm not running. I tried to run last year, but pulled a hamstring. But I mean, the athletes that are out here now that are doing things, oh my gosh, spectacular. Like
Spectacular.
It's mind blowing. And, so it's very exciting to just, just be a part of the sport, period.
Yeah, this is my second year back, and I had a back-to-back champion in the 110 hurdles.
Very nice.
And I just wanted to choke the living all out of him because he could have been way better because he wanted as a seventh grader and was the only seventh grader beating all these eighth graders, winning this championship. He thought that he can come back this year and not have to put the work in. And so he learned the hard way. For sure. And so he should have took first in the, not just the 110 hurdles, but the 300 hurdles, the 200, and probably the 100 too. But because, he decided he wanted to show up to practice whenever he wanted to show up to practice. And he would tell me that he's practicing up at the high school. Cause I was like, you need to practice up at the high school with Coach Washington, because I can't, you're not getting pushed down here on the middle school level. There's no competition. Your best bet is to go with competition. So I talked with Coach Washington to allow him to be able to practice up there. And then I would talk to her and she was like, I ain't seen him either. And so, it was just so frustrating. But they learned the hard way. And then there's woulda, coulda, shoulda. And then he missed the city championship. He got in trouble and missed the city championships and wasn't able to compete. And so that's why the mentorship is so important in our community with these kids, So I love the Sheroes. I can't wait to talk about it and discuss that and to see how, how we can collaborate, how I can support you on that. And then I can't wait to the Hall of Fame. So y'all, we're gonna wrap this up. We're done. It's already an hour in. It went really, really fast. I'm so glad that I got a chance to meet you. I'm so glad you got a chance to. I got a chance to introduce you to my audience. Because I saw you on paper and you're definitely was amazing, and we can't wait to induct you into our third class of 2024 on the Hall of Fame on September the 21st at 6:00 at the Central Bank Center. I got the ticker down there on the bottom. Go to laceoff.com and get your tickets ASAP. Yes. Go get your go. Hey, we gonna be clean. I still haven't found me a dress. So I gotta find a dress still. So we'll get that. Okay, next level review. Speak the truth. Nice. And did you face any obvious issues along with others because of your hue?
I would not necessarily. I wouldn't say so. I didn't, especially not on the track for sure. No.
Yeah, because we've always dominated track, so it's never been an issue. I mean, you either win or you don't win on track. There's never. It's not like basketball where, there could be, or even a football field where there could be some disparity there that can hinder something, but on track.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I know I used to mean mug, but it was just all about business. You know what I mean? I mean, they say I still have a mean mug every once and again, but
yeah, I get it. Everybody talks about my husband. It was like, okay, we know your wife. We don't know how y'all make that work because she's off the chain and you off the chain. So how y'all make that work? We make it work because we love what we do. I respect him. He respects me. He lets me do me. I let him do him. And there's just no, he knows what I love to do. I know what he loves to do. So like during this season, now we're back together. But from February up until about 3 weeks ago, he was doing baseball and then I was doing track and women's tackle football. So I'm in Detroit. I'm in Grand Rapids, and then he's in Indianapolis, and he's in Harrisburg, and he's in Louisville, and we ain't see each other. But now we're back together, so we get to make it happen.
It's so worth it, though. You got to make the sacrifices, but it's worth it.
He said, "You started me, Mud." Anyway, thank you, beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm so mad that we lost the first couple of minutes because of technical difficulties, and as usual. But it came out absolutely fantastic. What a great show. Thank you so much for coming on Hits and Heels and telling your story and allowing us to enjoy you and applaud you and celebrate you. And we can't wait to celebrate you on the 21st of September in your induction into the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame. That sounds so good, don't it?
It does. And it just goes off your mouth like just.
It does. Yes. And so I can't wait. And so from that, y'all, oh my God. So tune in next week. Oh my God, is our 100th episode. So y'all know it's going to be me and Cisco. Mm-hmm. It's going to be me and my baby. And so we're going to, I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to bring it. So make sure you all tune in next week and come celebrate our 100th episode for Hits and Heels on next Wednesday. And from that, we'll go out. So Michelle, don't log off, but I'm going to end the stream. Okay. And so for that, y'all, I love y'all. Peace out and have a good one.